All right, as long as you have the same base, you can just mark them out like. Now we'll have some later where they don't have the same base. So it's easy as long as they have the same base. All you have to do is bring down 3x plus 7 equals 7x plus 4. Y'all solve that now for x and you should get a fraction.
If they don't have the same base, but I can make it like, say, that one's, this one's 9 and that one's 3. When I do that, the second
No, the ones I'm talking about are like 18 where this one doesn't even have a log down there.
was,
All right, so why I gotta move 7x over here, that'll make it a negative 7x. Move plus 7 over there, that'll make it a minus 7. Finish it up. Just do your like terms and solve for x. All right, so the answer I got on number 1, I got negative 4x equals negative 3. So you divide. I got positive 3 over 4. Somebody check my work, is that right?
What do you divide by?
You always divide by the number that's with the x, y, so I divide both sides by negative 4. Anybody else get that? Yeah, that's what's on the answer sheet. All right, so you guys agree number 1 is very easy. All right, it's going to get harder. It's going to get messier. I don't know if y'all did this last year. You may have if you had Miss Carter. All right, can we go to number 2? 2's a little different. It's got one thing on it that's different. All right, what do I do with these log 3's if they're the same?
Cancel out.
Mark them out. All y'all do is bring down 9x minus 1 equals 4x minus 16. I'm going to give y'all a minute to solve it, and then I got to show you something about that problem. Move this over. I got 5x equals negative 15. So I got x equals negative 3. Everybody good so far? All right, so here's what's new. On every one of these problems, you have to plug your answer in the parentheses up here to make sure it works. When will it not work? If it's a negative number when you plug it in, or a 0 after you plug it in. If it's either one of those, you got to throw it out. For example, let's plug negative 3 right here. 9 times negative 3 minus 1. Put that in your calculator, what's it going to give you? 9 times negative 3 minus 1. That gives you negative 28. Can't have that, guys. You got to throw this one out. Now, sometimes you will plug a negative answer in, and your answer will give you a positive number after you put it in your calculator. And that's okay. You can keep that. Now, if it gives you a negative on either parenthesis, this one or this one, you got to throw it out. You can't have a negative number with a log, or you can't have a 0 with a log. Okay? That's what's new about number 2. So, okay, we don't have an answer left, so it is no solution. We have no solutions left. We crossed out the only answer we had. Okay? All right, let's go to number 3 now. You guys set up 3. You should be able to solve it. I might have to help you solve it, but go ahead and set it up. See how far you. I got x squared minus 30 equals 6. All right, Wyatt, there's 3 different ways you could get the answer on this. Y'all could do quadratic formula. You could factor, but the fastest way on this one, Wyatt, is just move your minus 30 over, make it a positive 30, add them up, that gives you 36. This is going to be the fastest way to do this. All right, what happens here, guys, since I got an x squared? How do I get rid of that? What's the square root of 36? All right, don't forget your plus or minus. It's plus or minus 6, which means positive 6 and negative 6 are your answers. You got to have them both written down anytime you take a square root. Now, we got to plug them in to see if they work. All right, do both of them work? All right, Grant, let's check them. If I plug 6 right here, 6 squared is 36 minus 30 gives you 6. First one works. What happens with negative 6 when I plug it in and square it? Like if you got negative 6 squared, yeah, it makes it a positive 36 too. So guys, they both work on this one. This shows you just because it's a negative answer doesn't mean it's not going to work. It can still work. So your answers on that one are positive 6 and negative 6.
So if you get 2 answers, you got to plug in both answers?
You got to plug in both answers. All right, I'm not going to do every problem on this sheet. I'm going to give y'all some time to do some of the easy ones. Let's see the next one I got to skipping ahead all the way to number 9. So if you want to write it down on your paper, go ahead and write down number 9. 4 through 8 are basically the same thing we did on 1, 2, and 3. They're pretty easy. I'll let y'all do those in a minute. All right, so now we have to start learning our properties. I used to make kids write down the properties and memorize them. I think we can just learn how to do them by working the problems. All right, so Grant, let's go to number 9. All right, what's new about number 9? Well, first of all, they all got the same logs, so mark out your logs.
Just combine my terms to the left.
Look, this time, Wyatt, we got a plus in between the logs. The rule is, if you got a plus in between them, Wyatt, you got to multiply these two. 9 times x is 9x equals 54. All right, so if it has a plus between the logs, you have to multiply. All right, so what's that answer? This is a really easy problem. Answer 6. Check it when you plug it in here. It stays positive 6. Answer works. All right, but we got to start learning the rules.
1 second, please.
Yep. All right, everybody good on 9? All right, write down the next one. Next problem we're going to do is number 10. Write down 10. All right, ready? All right, so Wyatt, look, we had a plus sign up here, so I multiplied them together. We got a minus sign on this one. So what do y'all think we do with it? You divide. 48 divided by W equals 4. I'm going to write that as 4 over 1. I'll explain why. Any question about how we set it up? You mark out your logs because they're all the same. Minus in between, so we divide.
You have to find the common denominator.
You could find a common denominator, but when it looks like this, Graham, you can just cross multiply. So y'all just cross multiply and divide on that one. Let me show you what I mean. You're going to have a lot of these where you can cross multiply. 48 times 1 is 48. 4 times W is 4W. Somebody divide that, please. 12, answers 12. So the cross multiplying technique is pretty quick and easy. All right, next one that's got something new on it, I believe, is number 11. Let's check. Yes, write down number 11. It's got something new on this.
Oh, I bet 20 is fine.
Actually, it's not that bad.
So you just gotta put it on the bottom and then cancel it out.
No, that one doesn't have a log, so you got to do that one the new way. All right, ready? You got it? All right, so what's new on this one? Well, look, we've got, first of all, you know you're going to cross the logs out, right? We've got a number in front of the log this time. We haven't had that before. Anytime you got a number in front of the log, that becomes the exponent over the 8. So it's n equals 8 to the 2/3, and now y'all just type it in the calculator and get an answer. But you got to learn that rule. Number in front of the log becomes an exponent. Got it, White? Somebody type that in and tell me what the answer is. 4. Answer's 4. 4 is your answer. All right, so number 12, we start getting a problem where they start combining a lot of the rules. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go to 12. Y'all copy 12 down if you're writing it on your own sheet of paper. Copy 12.
So you just have to make that exponent, then multiply.
Yep.
It's not hard, it's just multiple steps.
All right, let's look at 12. First step, cross out all your logs. All right, so now we got x equals what? Well, look, I got 1/4 in front of the log. What does that become? That becomes your exponent over the 16. So I got 16 to the 1/4. Everybody understand how I got that? All right, look at the next one. You got 1/3 will be the exponent for 64. So it'll be 64 to the 1/3. Wait a minute, why am I multiplying them? Because the plus. Now you just type in the calculator, right? So y'all type this in, let's see what we get. You could do them by hand, but it's just as easy to type in. 16 to the 1 over 4, 64 to the 1 over 3. My calculator gave me 8. If you can't get 8, I'll come look at your calculator and we'll see what the problem is.
I feel like by the time you get to 12th grade, like math is just something they want you to have beyond seven.
Question on 12. All right, next one we're going to do, let's see, is, copy 13. I think I'm going to do all the rest of them down for you, just get y'all used to doing it, then after break, y'all do something like yourself. All right, copy 13. All right, we mark out the logs, correct? All right, so look, this time I got a minus in the middle. We've already talked about it. What does a minus? It makes you divide. So I got 3x plus 14 divided by 5 equals 2x over 1. Now, why did I write it over 1 again? So we can cross multiply. That's the easiest way to do these. That way it keeps us from doing the common denominator stuff that we spent so many class days doing a couple weeks ago.
So they could have just crossed one.
Not all of them. I had to show you the common denominator stuff. All right, so let's cross multiply. It doesn't matter which way you go first. I'm going to go this way. 1 times 3x is 3x. 1 times 14. 5 times 2x is 10x. All right, work it out. We'll see if it gives you a fraction or not. And then you have to check your answer to see if it works. If the answer doesn't work, it'd be a no solution.
Still supposed to get a fraction?
I don't know if it is a fraction or not. Is it? I got negative 7x. All right, I got x equals positive 2. Somebody check that.
I got it.
All right, so now let's check that and see if it works. If I plug 2 right here, 6 plus 14 is 20. So that's okay there. If I plug 2 here, 2 times 2 is 4, it's okay there. So as long as it's not a negative when you plug it back in, you get to keep it. So the answer on 13 is 2. All right, let's write down number 14 now. And I'm going to give y'all a chance to solve this one. Go ahead and see if you can set it up. Mark out the logs. All right, what do I do with these two, CJ? You times them. X times x is x squared. All right, what's after that? You divide by 3 equals 12 over 1. Anybody got a question how I set it up? Everybody okay? Now, you guys cross multiply. See if you can get an answer. If it's an x squared, you got to get 2 x's. All right, so when I times this way, I got x squared equals 36. All right, how did we solve this a minute ago? Yeah, the answer is plus or minus 6. I got a positive 6 and a negative 6. Check them to see if they both work. Positive 6, when I plug it in here, it stays positive 6. That works. Negative 6, when I plug it in there, it stays a negative 6. You can't have that. Throw that one out. The only answer on this problem is positive 6. You got to find a square root, so you got to take plus or minus.
I just got lucky.
Yep, that was lucky. All right, so that was 14. All right, y'all should be able to do 15. I'm going to give you a chance, set it up, and we'll see what we can do from there. Mark out the logs. Somebody said 4 is going to be your exponent. So that's x to the 4th.
You make it 5x to the 4th.
I got to times it, right? So I'm going to make it 5x to the 4th equals 405. Does everybody understand why we were multiplying? Because it had a plus in between, right? All right, so we have to solve for x. What do I do first?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5. Somebody divide that by 5 for me.
81.
81. All right, write it down. All right, how many answers will this problem have?
4.
4. How did we learn how to do this last week? There's like 3 different ways you could do it. Somebody said this morning, Coach, just look at the board. And they're right. I mean, 3 to the 4th is 81. I don't care if you do that. All right, you could find a 4th root, but how I showed you last week, if that's 4 over 1, we got to get the x by itself. We did the reciprocal. And that will work for all the problems, is why I showed you that way. Type that in your calculator, and you know it's going to be 3. So it's actually plus or minus 3. Why is this one plus or minus? It's not x squared.
We got to take the square root.
Any even exponent, x squared, x4, x6, x8 will be plus or minus. Any even exponent. So my answers are like, you know, x equals 3, x equals 3, x equals negative 3, and x equals negative 3, right? Because you got 4 answers. All right, so which ones work? Which ones do we throw out? Let's check. Positive 3. If I plug positive 3 in there, it works. Negative 3 is not going to work. If you plug negative 3 in right there, I don't see that working because it's a negative 3. So the only answers on that one are for positive 3. Nothing's happening to that number to turn it into a positive. No, you tried it once. I was just showing you that it does have 4 answers. That's what it is.
I like your reader there, Coach.
Well, what I meant was
No, he got
it doesn't have parentheses up there where you're changing it into a positive. So it's staying a negative. All right, next one. Guys, I want to skip 16 for now because that's a new problem. I want to go down to 19. 19 is the last problem on this sheet that we can still do it the way we're doing it. So you guys set up 19 quickly and then we'll look at it. All right, when you set it up, I know I marked the logs out. All right, what do I do with these two on the left side? This one and this one. What do I do with these two? You divide them. 3m plus 7 over m plus 4. All right, other side. We're going to divide these two. So what goes on the top?
It's 6.
You can't do 4 clear,
A million. All right, so look, what's this number right here that's in front of the log? It's going to become the what? So 6 to the second power is 36. Everybody see how I got 36?
Yeah.
If not, I'll say it again. So why? Same thing here. This is going to be the exponent over 3, so it'd be 3 to the third, which is 27, I believe. So that is how you set that problem up. Now, how are we going to solve it? Cross multiply. All right, phones should be up, guys. We should not even have phones out on our desk right now. All right, it doesn't matter which way you go first. I'm going to go this way. 36 times m is 36m. I need some help, though. What's 36 times 4?
Good question. 36 times 4. You could just.
I'm guessing 144. Somebody make sure.
You could change the right to 4 over 3. 145.
I think it's 144. Now times these two. 27 times 3, that's 81, but I don't know 27 times 7. Somebody do that for me.
187 times.
Should be 189. Y'all can check behind me.
That's right, Coach.
I think my old school math
40.
works.
49.
All right, so solve that, get an answer, and we will check it.
Old school, that's just the math we need to know, Coach. That's what we're going to use a lot. It's not old school.
It's old school because I didn't use a calculator. Back in my day, we were never allowed to use calculators in school.
Coach, that's what calculators didn't exist.
Back in the good old days. What?
See, calculators exist?
They did, but you did not even have calculators like this. It was the basic just multiplication, 5 times 3, that's all you had.
Coach, that's all you need.
Maybe a square root button.
That's all the math you need. Like, okay, I don't think your senior year you should have to take math. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Amen.
If you're going to college, Grant, you should.
but what is that
Grant's
college
not
math
going
gonna
to
do either?
college.
I said
You
if.
do a math one, you to teach math.
Will you give me my code? Listen, every time I've asked what we're gonna use.
Skylar, send one over here.
What are we gonna use this outside of college? is my question.
All right, let's see what y'all got. All right, I did this one earlier so I can remember. 36 minus 81 gave me negative 45. And 189 minus 144 gave me 45. So what's my answer? Negative 1. All right, so we got to check this and see if it works. Grant, have you already checked this to see if it works? We got negative 1. Does it work? If I plug negative 1 right here, 3 times negative 1 plus 7.
That gives you 4.
That gives you 4, so it works there. How about over here?
That gives you 3.
Negative 1 plus 4 is 3. Guys, even though it's a negative, it can still work. And it worked on both of them that time, so we're good on that.
Now we gotta learn a new way.
All right, so we have gone over all the properties of logarithms. Now we're going to go over new problems. We got 5 new problems on here, I believe. 4 new problems. 16, 17, 18, and 20. All right, so let's look at 16. What is new about 16? Why are we calling this a new problem?
It's different.
All right, well, how's it different?
There's not a log by the wall.
There is not a log right here with this one. Remember, if everything has the same log, you do them like we've been doing. This doesn't have a log, we have to do it a different way. All right, first thing we got to do what? The ones that have a log, they both have to be on the left side of the problem. So I'm going to bring down log base 6 of 2x minus 5. I'm going to move this one over here. That's going to make it a minus log base 6 of 7x plus 10. And I'm going to move the plus 1 over here, and that's going to equal negative 1. So it has to be set up just like that when you have one that's missing a log. All right, so do that first. Write it down. And then we'll talk about setting it up. All right, here's how we set it up. Y'all ready? Everybody watch. The ones that have the log, why, that's where you start. We're going to go 6 to the negative 1 power equals. Now, Grant, what's going to happen between this and this if they have a minus in the middle? You're going to divide them. So it's 2x minus 5 on the top, 7x plus 10 on the bottom. All right, so it's kind of like the old way that we did last week before our break. We all wrote it from log form to exponent form. You take this, it becomes your base. Now, somebody use your calculator. What is 6 to the negative 1? And make it a fraction. I don't want a decimal. Make it a fraction. 6 to the negative 1 is?
Whatever it says.
All right, so I'm going to erase that and put 1 over 6. Now, how do y'all think we solved the problem?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply. But that is the new way to set them up. You only have. All right, let's check and see. I move 12 over. 7 minus 12 is negative 5. Move 10 over. All right, I got the same answer River has. I got positive 8. Now let's check that and see if it works. If I plug positive 8 right here, 16 minus 5, that gives me a positive number. And 56 minus 10, yeah, plus 10. So either way, it's going to give you a positive number no matter where you plug it in, so it does work. All right, any question about this problem? 16, before we go to 17. All right, next one, 17. I'm going to give y'all a chance to write it down and go ahead and set it up, just like we set up 16. So look back. I'm going to have to do quadratic formula. Yeah, because we got an x squared. So how do I set it up? We got to get everything on the same side, right? So I'm going to move 9x over here. That will make it a negative 9x. And I'm going to move positive 5 over here. That'll make it a negative 5, gives me negative 9. All right, so all that's left to do is do the quadratic formula. Find both answers. We'll check them. 81 minus 4. All right, stop me if I'm wrong. I got 225 in here. So that's going to change to 15. Now y'all can find both answers.